Hello world, Stephen Michael Zach here, and today on Head to Head, we're going down to the arena to pit the SmallRig Mini V-mount versus the Neewer Mini V-mount. Now, these will prospectively cost you this much at the time of the recording of this video, so let's jump down to the ring to see which one will be crowned the champion. So first, let's take a look at build quality and size. The SmallRig is rock solid in its plastic and materials. You get these nice soft doors that are easily pulled off if you don't like to have doors on. So there you go. And of course, up top, you get pretty much everything. You get your power delivery, type A and type C. You get your 8 volt and your 12 volt. And a nice cover over there. On this side, you do get your D-tap, which is very nice. And of course, you do get a power button to read the display. It is a smaller display, but it is on the front here. And again, you got this nice grippy material, and this thing just feels rock solid. Now, let's take a look at the Neewer. Now, you do get a slightly bigger screen. The power button is up front, and when you press it, you get a full readout here of all the plugs. You get a level and a percentage, which is very nice. Now, you will get this kind of display on here once you start plugging things in, but the default and the single, when nothing is plugged in, you're just going to get the percentage of what's on the battery. The materials are a little bit more cheaper of a plastic. It still feels good. It's a little bit slippery. There's not as much grip on the sides here. And let's go ahead and take a look at the ports. Now you have your PD power delivery system A and C on the side. On the top, you have your 8 volt and 12 volt, and these are a little bit more rigid than on the SmallRig. So if you like that, there is that. And then you have your D-tap on the side. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at a size comparison. As you can see, the Neewer is a little bit bigger than the SmallRig. It is a little bigger. It is a little bit taller. And let's go ahead and weigh that. So the SmallRig comes in at about 19.8, and the Neewer comes in about 21.5. So that is a significant difference. Yes, it is bigger, it is wider, so yes, it's going to be heavier. Now, when I tested these, both of them ran exceptionally well. I tested them on light, and they ran for about an hour off one of my lights. Now, I will say that the SmallRig did last a little bit longer than the Neewer, and I've been using the SmallRig a little bit longer, but they both seem to perform fairly well. So, at the end of the day, which one is going to be crowned the champion? And the winning champion belt goes to the SmallRig. Now, here is why I chose the SmallRig and why I will be sticking with the SmallRig. Small is in its name. This thing is much smaller and lighter than the Neewer. Not to say that the Neewer isn't a bad option. I will say that if you're just getting into V-mount batteries, for $124 on sale, you cannot beat this when this is $170 on sale. Or actually might be a little bit more. But I will say that if you're getting into the V-mount arena, you want something small. Neewer is pretty good. I like the fact that the power button is on the front here, not on the side, because the thing that drives me crazy with the SmallRig is when I'm pulling this off of something, I accidentally hit the power button and this little screen goes on, potentially wasting my battery. So I do like the fact that they put it on the front, and I do like the bigger screen that gives you the full readout so you know everything is working. But I will say that it is a bit slippery. There's not a lot to grip. And one thing I do like about the SmallRig is that most of your stuff is on the top, and very much like a ballast on a light, I like all the plugs to be on the top. It's just easier for me to run power that way. This way, on the Neewer, it's kind of all over the place. So you have to kind of mount it all around, whereas this, most of the stuff is up here with a D-tap coming out the side. So all in all, I still like the SmallRig. It is still my favorite. It's smaller, it's lighter. Again, it fits in with my smaller, lighter lifestyle, but the Neewer is not bad either. Now, I will say there is a lot of bargain micro V-mounts, smaller V-mounts out there. So make sure you do your comparison shopping before you go with a battery, but the Neewer has performed fairly well so far. So that's it. Those are my thoughts, but I want to know yours. So leave your questions and comments in the notes below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to mash the bell button to be notified when we drop a brand new video. And feel free to use the links below as it helps out the channel. I'm Stephen Michael Zach, and I'll see you next time inside the ring.